And then so I've, in like 1 year alone, like the first year I joined this mile program, I earned 160,000 miles. Because I flew so much.
That's crazy.
And then I'd gotten like the highest status you can get on it. Because I'm flying like every goddamn week, basically.
You fly to my station.
Yeah, so
I was like,
to get the highest status, you need 100,000 miles. And what you get from this is that you get miles, obviously, but then ANA has this weird thing where you get upgrade points, which is like a whole different thing where they just gift you it for, I guess, flying all the time. So I had all these upgrade points that I'd never used, and they were going to expire, and I was like, I've never done first class in my life.
Baby.
I'll apply, see if I get it. So I applied for first class on this flight over, 14-hour flight, and I was like, I can get to use it. 14 hours, one of the longest flights in the world.
And if you got it, it might bump me up to, I'm number 17
they might let
of the
you
way to
go in. And that was what I was really thinking about. I was like, I really want Pete to be in business, so I'll let him take my seat. So I applied, and then like a week later, I got it.
You did confirm that you were able to get the first class ANA
I got the first class
experience.
flight, and I, you know, I've never flown first class. I kind of felt like a bit of like, I don't really deserve this. This is for like.
Well, you definitely don't, but that's okay.
I don't, and so I've never flown first class or anything. So I got on the, and this seat is ridiculous.
So we get separated when we're walking in the thing. I get to check in with you, and then they immediately grab me by the cuff of my jacket and throw me into the boot, and they get the hell out of this.
So you know. I normally will fly business. Very lucky, very privileged. And you don't even get to walk through the first class area because that's how you would find. You know, you would see business. They kind of like advertise it to you. You'd see all these 6 seats. You're like, I wish I could lie down while I sleep. But you don't even get to walk through it. So I went to this first class area, and literally the moment I like got in there, 3 staff were like, "Well, hello there, Mr. Connor. Would you like to change into some casual wear?" I was like, I'm literally wearing this.
So
I'm like, no, I think I got it already, man. No, they were like, and so I put these pajamas on, and it was like silk. It was like being hugged by God. And then they took my clothes away. I was like, where okay, you're going to burn them? Okay, that's fine. You're going to fool the plane.
I wouldn't blame them. I was treated like...
And this, I get to the seat, and this TV I had was like 70 inches. It was
bigger than
ridiculous.
Shinjuku 109 cinemas.
To actually tell you the size, it was probably like a 35 inch,
it was bigger than that. It was 40-inch TV.
40-inch, like 4K TV, and I'm like, it's like the Dolby Atmos, like THX, like when it opens. I'm like, it's ridiculous.
And your headphones.
I can't even get my feet to the end of the thing when I'm sitting down.
Ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
And then the headphones, they're like, here are your headphones. And I was hoping to I had to get them out of the hermetically sealed bag and like the horrible... Dude, they had Sony WMX5s that were the headphones.
I think I ordered that for dinner.
I was like, this is up. And so this is like the suite, right? So one thing I did, because I knew it was first class, right? And I know the food is not different from business to first class. The only thing that's different is the drink menu. And I normally don't drink on flights because I feel like I end up not sleeping and I feel gross and stuff, so I normally don't drink. But this time I was like, I want to get my points worth. So I swear I did this. I was like, Grok, what is the most expensive wine and champagne on the ANA first class menu? And it gave me the, hello Connor. Here's the
Grok knows you by name? Is this a first class pro? Unbelievable.
So it was like, this is the $300 champagne. This is the $250 wine. And I was like, can I get both of those? And so I started drinking them. This was a disaster. Because as my filet mignon was coming out, which was already 7, it was ridiculous. The course was so ridiculous. It was like nine courses in. And I finally got to it was so stupid, chat. It was like the most, I felt so out of place. I even started doing the thing. I never with my fork facing down like that, but just because I didn't want them to think I was too poor to be there, yeah. I was doing it.
You had a fork? So meanwhile, in purgatory, you were hugged by God. I was hanging with Satan. And not the mouse variety. It was horrible. I get there and I sit down in my seat and somebody comes up to me and goes, "Sir, you're in the wrong seat." And I go, "All right, I'll stand up and capitulate." And they're like, and they moved me to the back of the plane. And then they were like, "Oh no, you had it right." And so they moved me back forward. And then I'm sitting there waiting to just, my TV doesn't work. So whatever my monitor, which was 4 inches, it was like a Game Boy. It was using the dot matrix
the original, not the color.
Yeah, I'm talking about the green one. I'm like, it doesn't, and I was like, "I'm so sorry to bother you. It doesn't work." And they were like, "Oh, God, this happens always on this seat." And I was like, "I can move back to the one you moved me to before." So I'm sitting there waiting for my seat to turn on so I can watch Marvel's 10 or whatever. And then I'm sitting there and I fall asleep. And then some woman, sheet threw a sandwich on my gut like I was a fat. I got
I
like,
have bad news for you.
and I took a picture of it. It looks like found footage from a plane crash. I couldn't even get a good photo of it.
Yeah.
She threw it on my gut, and it landed with a little poop. And I looked at it, it was like corn, mayo, whatever. And so I was like, oh, thank you so much. And so I'm eating this scrap, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, can I have a Pepsi? And they're like, oh. Okay, so I'm in this horrible situation.
And then cut to what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, go ahead, please enlighten us.
You're in a horrible situation, and then I first
You're in
of
a
all,
bath.
It was really hard to go through 9 courses, by the way. There was a lot of work.
I didn't even get 9 bites.
It was ridiculous. The first thing came out, and like they opened this table that's bigger than your seat, I think.
Oh, certainly. Not
and
hard.
then like the first thing was like a caviar with salmon. This other thing was like, I don't know, venison or something. It was so
the
ridiculous.
scraped scrotum of
And then they're like,
a veal.
they're like, do you want corn soup? And I was like, I'm not really a big corn soup guy, but I was like, I'll try it. It was like the best soup I'd ever had in my life. And I was like, do you want a salad? I was like, I'd love a salad. And they give me this like porcelain plate, and I pour over this dress. It was phenomenal. And then I had my Wagyu filet. It was Wagyu filet.
I know, the picture looked like it was medium
ridiculous.
rare. It was like cooked to your specifications.
And then they were like, what do you want for dessert? I was like, I'll have a cheese board and a cake. Oh, wow. So bear in mind, at this point, I was like 3 drinks deep, but every single time I would get like to this point with my wine, 3 staff members would come over and refill the wine.
Unbelievable. 3 staff members?
And it was, all of them would like debate who would get to hold it and report. So, and then this is when I felt genuinely embarrassed.
I know what's coming. So at this point, I had paid $28 for Wi-Fi, and just so like none of it worked.
They gave me like 3 Wi-Fi codes. I should have just.
You had a
DM'd
voucher. It said it. It says like it like mocks you. It says like, hey, if you have a voucher in first class or business, share it with your mates. I paid £280 to text him because it wouldn't even load websites for me. And he was like, dude, the internet's lightning fast up here.
No, there was any difference, the internet speeds.
I didn't even have internet.
Okay, well.
I had to I sent you a letter.
They
And you sent me a video back, which was probably all of my bandwidth.
So, also, when they poured the wine, right, one of them accidentally dropped a drop on my white sheet, and they were like, oh, and I was like, it's not that bad. They were like, we'll get you a new sheet. I'm like, it's really not a big deal. Anyway, so I just had my amazing meal. I was absolutely stuffed. I'm 4 glasses deep in of this $250 bottle of wine. I remember it was called the Kenzo Estate, Napa Valley. And as I'm kind of recovering from this meal, I'm about to watch a movie. I was kind of I'm not annoyed, but I was kind of sucks because in this first class, there's 8 seats in total, and only 4 of them were being used. And I got an aisle seat, which is whatever. But there was a window seat that was empty, and I was like, man, it sucks I couldn't get the window seat because I had a bit more room, and I kind of want to look at the window, And I kind of felt like, man, I could have asked. And just as I was thinking that, this woman comes over. She goes, Mr. Connor, would you like us to make your bed? But no, not here in this seat. We'll make your bed in the spare seat. So when you're ready to sleep, you can just walk over to the other suite.
To the West Wing.
And you can lie down. And I was like, this is. I did the Pete thing. I was like, that's.
Yeah, he was like,
I was like,
and then
that's.
I was doing the Pete thing because he sent me a picture of a woman flipping a sheet up on your king-size bed.
I didn't want to film it because I felt bad, but I had to get a video to show Pete because he wouldn't believe me. So I got a little video where I show this woman is making a bed in this entire room that literally takes up about 6 economy seats. It's ridiculous.
Meanwhile,
I was watching my movie, and then when I was finally done, I sat up and I kind of get out of my suite, which took about 5 minutes to walk out. I got out of my suite and I went to the other room, about a 2-minute walk to my other room, and I just lied down. And it's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
It was such a big bed, and they gave us actual pillows and bed sheets and stuff.
Actual pillows.
Meanwhile,
I had a sock.
He's like, can I get some oxygen? And then this guy next to him is farting and shitting in the seat.
Well, he had some serious toilet issues, and that's fine. I'm not judging the poor bloke next to me, but he had this real problem where he would go to the bathroom, and then he would be gone for 30 minutes.
I didn't even see anyone else in my cabin. I only saw myself.
Well, you saw the vlogger.
There was a Chinese vlogger sitting next to me, and occasionally I would hear the most. I could hear it because it sounded like me, but in Chinese when I reacted.
It's hard to hear down the hall, but it echoed. So but yeah, he was vlogging as we were walking. He even went when we were walking because I was in first class walk up with Connor. He was filming the sign. He was like first class, and he was pointing to himself, and then he just pointed to the other economy. He was like, ha 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 ha. That was me, and I was like, oh.
Pause.
This guy would be gone for 30 minutes, the guy next to me. Yeah. And then I would finally fall asleep, and this guy would come back and go, oh, see what I'm saying? I was shitting myself or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, no, that's cool, man. See, go back in. And finally my TV worked, so I was trying to watch some films, and I don't have Sony noise-canceling nantokas. I have like 2 cans that had been...
I can probably show a chat the size of my TV in a
It's
minute.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
And you failed to mention, you had an HDMI so you could plug in your PC and play games.
I brought my laptop out, and I was playing Slay the Spire.
Unbelievable.
On this giant monitor, and I was playing XCOM
Unbelievable.
on this giant monitor. It was so sick.
I'm there, and this woman came to me about halfway through the flight, and Connor's in his 8th bath or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, my massage and...
And she was like, "Sir, we're offering all of our guests
show
an
chat.
economy." I'll let you show them.
No, tell them.
And they said, "Would you like to have one of our tastings from the wine and champagne list?" I go, "I would love a champagne." That never came. I waited 14 hours for this champagne. I think Connor drank 2 bottles of it, but I never ever received... I got a Pepsi Max once when I went in the back and asked for it.
Dude, this seat is ridiculous, chat. I mean, look at this thing. It's genuinely the most dumb thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know. Can I...
Here, I can show you what I had.
Look at this thing. That seat is ridiculous. It's like the most biggest seat. Look at that TV. That's absolutely absurd.
Here's my found footage of it's not a plane crash. That's actually the headphones that were not sealed. It was just thrown in as rubbish onto my gut.
I think those are used, mate.
They are definitely used. That might have been my dinner. I couldn't tell the difference. All of the...
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
eat.
Let's eat.
We'll save this epic tale for later.
This looks